Hello.
Oh my! Wow, so loud.
How are we doing?
Wow.
Welcome to Trashterpiece Theater.
Trashterpiece.
Tonight we have dos stories for you. One will be. No, we'll get there when we get there. Welcome to Trashterpiece Theater. We're gonna get some stories. What is happening? Why can't I hear? Oh, because my Twitch is on.
Oh.
Okay, I turned it off.
Noob.
This mod view is on. What's happening? Welcome. You can interact. I am so lost. You can interact with us in a few different ways. $10. You can give one of us an accent or an impression to follow with our lines. We'll do our lines in kind of whatever accent you want. $15. You can do pick a tune. Well, you can give one of us a tune to sing to. Ryan loves those. And then for $20, you can give us a group accent. This is the value because you get everybody to do it for 2 pages. So you can give us like a character, a accent, whatever you want us to do our lines as, and we'll do it.
Wow.
Because we will do anything for money.
Yep, pretty much.
Is that it?
But I won't do that.
But we will, though.
And of course, every $100 we will all sing our lines for 2 pages.
Oh yeah.
As
Oh yeah, I didn't
We're doing
finish.
that in a sea shanty fashion.
Oh, okay.
Idea.
Yeah.
Get your tankards out.
No. It was too much work for me.
All right. Anything else? Did we just jump right in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's introduce ourselves
Who are
and
we?
what we're doing tonight.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing we do. Tonight we're doing Treasure Island by Mercury Theater. It played in July 18th of 1938.
Wow.
I'm Chunk, obviously, and I will be playing Ben Gunn and Dodger.
Nice. I am Ryan. I will be playing Jim Hawkins.
Ah.
I'm Connie, and I am playing Mother as well as our Blind Pew.
Pew,
Blind pew.
Blind Pew Pew.
Oh, pew.
Pew Pew Pew.
Kill you.
Oh, I thought Brian was going to go next.
No.
Hi,
Uh-oh.
I'm Haley, and I'm playing. Who am I playing? Dr. Livesey, Sergeant, Black Dog, Tom Morgan, and Dick Johnson.
I think his name's Richard.
Nope, he's the Dick of the Sea.
Stop it.
Sea penis.
Isn't that great? Hey, I'm Justin. I'm playing Captain Smollett, Seaman, Long John Silver, and announcer.
Excellent. I'm Brian, and I'm going to play the narrator, Alan, Billy Bones,
Alan.
Johnny,
Alan.
and Orson Welles. Alan.
No, it's
Alan.
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 It's one syllable. It's one syllable.
Steve.
They only do one? Okay.
Yeah.
Alan. Alan. If you're gonna do it, do it right. Jeez.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't hold my mouth open and say that like you guys can.
Alan. Yeah, why not?
So. Alan.
It's easy.
On.
It's an N. Why can't you say an N? Alan.
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 Oh my gosh.
Alan.
That's what she said.
This is what you guys came for.
Yeah.
This is the real content.
All right. All right.
All right, let's get started.
We dive on in.
All right.
Dive on in.
Nah.
Ah.
I pirate you.
Hey Ryan,
Yo.
spell your name right.
Wow.
Jim
Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Hawkins. Hawkins.
Aw. Damn it.
Aw.
Like Hawkins Elementary.
Oh.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to fix it.
You happy now?
There we go.
Yeah, and now you're screaming it, so we all know it's right.
It'd be Ryan. I guess we're reversed, but that's fine.
Oh, we are reversed.
What?
Our names.
Our
Oh,
names
no,
are-
on our screen it's fine.
No, it's fine.
Does that mean every other time it's backwards?
Whoa.
Doesn't matter. Moving on.
Whoa. Anyway, goodness. Okay.
We're here now. Hi. How are you?
Chung, start us off with the title.
Da-da-da. Mercury Theater presents Treasure Island, July 18, 1938. Music theme.
The Columbia Network takes pleasure in presenting Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air in the second of a unique new summer series of 9 dramatic productions.
9.
The first time in its history that radio has brought to the country an entire theatrical institution. Columbia is proud to welcome Orson Welles to its roster of stars and to give him the opportunity of bringing to the air those same qualities of vitality and imagination that have made him the most talked of theatrical director in America today.
Good evening. This is Orson Welles speaking. If there's anything bloodthirstier than a werewolf, it's a pirate. And the Mercury Theater is playing safe. Now, if vampires and their ilk leave you as uncannily cold as Dracula himself, who is staked down firmly, and it is to be hoped permanently, in his own family plot last week, then there are figures to prove that you are susceptible to buried treasure. We calculate that no decent law-abiding citizen is immune to pirates. There are cowboys and Indians. There are gangsters and G-men. But these delights are inconsistent, like the short skirt. I don't care how young you are. Nothing charms. Nothing ingratiates. Nothing wins like a one-legged, double-barreled buccaneer with earrings, a handkerchief on his head, and a knife in his teeth. What could be more appropriate on the starboard rail of your full-masted brigantine? If you haven't a full-masted brigantine, you have Treasure Island. It's in your library because it's an great English classic. And this evening, because it's a great story, it's on your radio. And that's what I mean by playing safe. Once there was a small boy who asked his stepfather, who had written a number of books, please to write something interesting. Our stepfather, seeing this point immediately, contributed a serial to something repugnant called Young Folks, a periodical circulated among that section of English nation known as Tiny Tots, who were very prevalent in the 80s. The name of the serial was The Sea Cook by Captain George North. And if the Tiny Tots didn't think it was interesting, they should have been boiled in oil. Ah, the story was begun, the stepfather says, on a chill September morning, by the cheek of a brisk fire, and the rain drumming on the window. The small boy himself helped a lot, even though Captain North got the credit, and so did a third and equally incurable small boy, the author's father. They drew a map first, a chart of an island, showing very queer and wonderful attractions. Spyglass Shoulder, for instance, and Skeleton Island, and the North Cache with the bar silver. And then, on that chill September morning, that by the brisk fire of theirs, 3 plotters buried their plunder. Doubloons, louis d'or, gold and silver, and rich jewels, and pieces of 8. That's why the story was finally called Treasure Island. It's foolish to guess who's turned in on this broadcast, but if in some way, well, we who are retelling this story hope devoutly that he, who the Samoans laid to rest in the hills of their own faraway Treasure Island, and who is not known out there only as the great teller of tales, would not wish tonight as he did, so unaccountably at first, to suppress the real name of Captain George North. The small boy, of course, should have been decorated. It's a better world because he asked for something interesting, but then he was lucky. There are millions and millions and millions and millions of small boys. But only one of us had Robert Louis Stevenson for his stepfather.
Whoa.
Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson with Orson Welles as Long John Silver as Jim Hawkins, who tells the story Treasure Island.
Squire Trelawney, Dr. Livesey, and the rest of the gentlemen having asked me to write down the whole particulars about Treasure Island from beginning to the end, keeping nothing back but the bearings of the island, and that only because there's treasure not yet lifted, I take up my pen in the year of grace 1783 and go back to that time 19 years ago when my father kept the Admiral Benbow Inn, and the brown old seaman with the saber cut first took up his lodging under our roof. I was 14, but I remember him as if it were yesterday. My bones too.
Yeah, your bones too.
Great. That's why it's orange, huh?
Do a different voice. Do a different voice.
15 men and a dead man's chest. Yo ho, and a bottle of rum.
Jim!
Mother called me from upstairs.
Jim!
Yes, Mother.
Jim, there's a man coming up the road. Go out and see what he wants.
Drink the devil has done for the rest. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. He came plodding to the inn door, his sea chest following behind him on a hand barrow, a tall, strong, heavy, nut brown man. His terry pigtail falling over the shoulders of his soiled blue coat. His hands ragged and scarred, black with broken nails, the saber cut across one cheek, a dirty, livid white, singing that old sea song that he sang so often afterwards. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Yo, open up in there. Now then, boy.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Oh, wait, that's why is this the same color as? It's the same color as narrator. I got confused.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, what do you call this place, sir?
The Admiral Benbow Inn, sir.
The Admiral Benbow Inn, eh? Nice, lonely-looking, pleasant, ciliated grog shop. Folks don't come here much, do they, boy? Not much company.
No, sir. More's the pity.
No? Well, then, it's the berth for me. I'm a plain man. Rum, bacon, eggs is all I want. And I head up there for which watch the ship's off. I've my mind to stay here a bit. Here, you, matey, you with the wheelbarrow. Bring it up alongside. Help up me chest. You too, boy, it's heavy.
Yes, sir.
Call me Captain, boy. Captain.
Yes, Captain.
Just one thing more.
Yes, Captain?
You ain't seen him, have ya?
No, sir. Who do you mean?
Along the road, maybe. You might have seen him somewheres. You can't tell. Let me know if you do, you boy. A seafaring man.
Yes, sir.
With one leg.
Yes, sir.
Captain!
Yes, Captain.
Bring me a noggin of rum, boy. And so he came to live under our roof. We never knew his name. We called him Captain. He was a very silent man by custom. All day he hung around the cove or up on the cliffs with a brass telescope staring out to sea. All evening he sat in the corner of the parlor next to the fire and drank rum and water very strong. And every day when he came back from his stroll, he would ask the same question. Jim!
Yes, Captain.
Any seafaring men go by today along the road?
No, Captain.
And Jim?
Yes, sir.
You're a good boy, Jim. You wouldn't lie to me ever, would ya?
No,
Jim.
sir. No, sir.
You haven't seen him, have you, Jim? Jim? There's a silver fourpenny for you on the first of every month if you keep your weather eye open for a seafaring man with one leg. Let me know the moment you see him, won't you, Jim? A seafaring man with one leg. Pounding surf, pounding surf. How that parsonage haunted my dreams. On stormy nights when the wind shook the four corners of the house and the surf roared along the cove and up the cliffs, I could see him in 1,000 forms. Now the leg would be cut off at the knee, now at the hip. Now he was a monstrous kind of a creature who had never had but one leg, and that in the middle of his body. Keep your weather eye open, won't you, Jim? For a seafaring man with one leg. A seafaring man with one leg. Months went by. The captain bade fair ruin to us, for he kept on staying week after week, month after month.
And never a penny of money, Jim. Not a penny. He has paid us since the day he came here and made me a poor widow woman.
Mother, why don't you ask him for some?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Jim. I'm afraid to ask him. I'm afraid of the man now. If your father was alive...
And all that time, none of us ever saw him open the great sea chest that was in his room. There were nights when he took a deal more rum and water than his head could carry. 15 men on a dead man's chest. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. Often I have heard the house shaking and all the neighbors joining in for dear life. Neighbors.
Drink and the devil
have done for the
Chips. All but one stopped singing. Quiet! That worked. He would force them all to listen to his stories. Dreadful stories they were, about hanging, walking the plank, and storms at sea, the dry Tortugas, and wild deeds in places on the Spanish Main. By his own account, he must have lived his life among some of the wickedest men that God ever allowed upon the sea. The captain had been living with us almost a year when his first there occurred, the first mysterious events that rid us at the last of his presence. Yep. It was one January morning, very early, a pinching frosty morning. The captain had risen earlier than usual and sat down on the beach with his telescope under his arms. My mother was upstairs, and I was lying on the breakfast table against the captain's return when the parlor door opened and a stranger stepped in.
Sonny! Come here, Sonny! Is this the table for my mate Bill?
I don't know your mate, Bill. I'm laying this for a man who stays in the house. We call him the captain.
Well, my mate Bill 'ud be called the captain, like as not. Now, we'll put it for argument like that your captain's got a cut on one cheek, and we'll put it, if you like, that cheek's the right one, eh? But of course, save me. There he is now. There's my mate Bill. That's him, with a spyglass under his arm. Bless his old heart, to be sure. You and me'll just get back behind the door, Sonny, and we'll give Bill a little surprise. We will, bless his heart, I says again.
15 men at a dead man's chest, yo ho ho, and a bottle of...
Hello, Bill. Come on, Bill, you knows me. You knows old shipmate Bill, surely.
Black dog.
Black dog as ever was, eh? Bill, what a sight at times us two.
So you've run me down. Here I am. Well, speak up. What is it?
That's you, Bill. You're in the right of it. Billy, I'll have a glass of rum from the dear child here. What I've took such a liking to, and we'll sit down, if you please, and talk square like old shipmates. Sit down, Bill! And you, Sonny, get oft.
Yes, sir.
And none of your keyholes on me, do you hear?
For a while, I could hear nothing but a low gabbing. Suddenly, the voices began to grow higher. No, 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 and an end of it. If it comes to swinging, swing all, I say.
Ah!
Fight, chairs, tables overturned, clash of blades, groans, etc. I saw Black Dog, streaming blood, run off down the road. Presently, the captain returned alone. Jim, give me some rum.
Captain, are you hurt?
I must get away from here. Get away, that's what. Get away from here.
What's happened, Jim? What's happened?
It's the captain, mother.
The captain?
That shouldn't have been that one. That should have been
That's
Jim.
weird.
Probably not. It's probably Jim. But that's
told
fine. I just woke up from the captain.
And oh dearie me, what a disgrace. I've been afraid of something like this ever since he came into the house with that old chest of his.
I got the rum and tried to put it down his throat, but his teeth were tightly shut and his jaws were strong as iron. An hour later, our friend Dr. Livesey came in.
Doctor, what shall we do?
Where is he wounded, Doctor?
Wounded? A fiddlestick stand. No more wounded than you or I. This man's had a stroke.
Where's Black Dog? Where is he?
Black Dog? There's no Black Dog, except what you have on your own back. You've been drinking rum, man, and you've had a stroke. Now listen to me. 1 glass of rum a day won't kill you, but if you take one, you'll take another, and then you'll die. Die, and you'll go to your own place, like the man in the Bible. And the world will be rid of a very dirty scoundrel. Do you understand that? The name of rum for you is death.
About noon the next day, I stopped at the captain's door with some medicines.
Where do you want to go?
What's going on?
Puppy.
Who is it?
It's me, Jim.
Come in, Jim. Come in. He was lying very much as we had left him. Jim, you're the only one here that's worth anything. You know I always been good to ya. Never a month I've given you a silver 4 for yourself. Now you see, mate, I'm pretty low and deserted by all. Jim, you'll bring me a noggin of rum, won't you, matey?
But the doctor said...
The doctor's all swabs. If I don't drain old rum, Jim, I'll have the horrors. I've seen some of them already. I seen old Flint in the corner over there, behind you, plain as print. I seen him, Jim. I seen him. Jim, I'll give you a golden guinea for a noggin. When I brought it to him, he seized it greedily and drank it out. Aye, that's some better. Sure enough. Now, matey, did that doctor say how long I was to lie here in this cold berth?
Why, a week at least.
Thunder! A week! I can't do that. They'd have the black spot on me by then. The lubbers is going about getting the wind of me this blessed moment. Lubbers as couldn't keep what they got, and what to nail what's another's. It's me. It's in me old sea chest, Jim. The thing thereafter. They'll tip me the black spot. I know it. I was first mate. I was. Old Flint's first mate, and I'm the only one as knows the place he buried it. He gave it to me at Savannah when he lay there a-dying.
Sorry, what's the black spot, Captain?
A summons from the old Flint's crew, a summons. And them as gets it, Jim, is lucky when they're dead. So a week went by, and then about 3 o'clock, bitter, foggy, frosty afternoon, I saw someone drawing slowly near along the road. He was plainly blind, for he tapped before him with a stick, and he wore a great green shade over his eyes and nose, and he was hunched, as if with age or weakness, and wore a huge old tattered sea cloak with a hood.
Kind Christian friends, take pity on a poor blind mariner who has lost the precious sight of his eyes in the gracious defense of his native country, England. And God bless King George, or where or in what part of this country he may now be.
Yes, you are at the Admiral Benbow Inn, sailor.
Eh?
Black Hill Cove. Oh.
Yep.
CKH328, thank you for the donation.
Excellent.
Has been great so far. Let's start trashing this by doing this like after school special PSA.
The more you know.
Exactly.
All right.
I hear a voice. A young voice. It's here where I missed me deadlights. Will you give me your hand, my kind young friend, and lead me into the captain?
I held out my hand, and the horrible, soft-spoken, eyeless creature gripped it in a moment like vice.
Now, boy, take me to the captain.
Sir, upon my word, I dare not.
You heard me. Take me in straight.
Oh,
Will you take me into the captain?
yes, sir.
Good. And when I'm in view, say to him, here's a friend for you, Bill Bones. If you don't, I'll twist your arm right out of your body. Do you hear?
Oh, yes, I hear you quite well.
Stash your pattern, you dammer. Now forward march.
Clap, 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 clap.
Oh, here's a friend for you, Bill Bones.
Now, Bill, sit where you are. Business is business. Hold out your left hand to Bill. Boy, take his left hand by the wrist and bring it near to my right. Here's a little bit of paper for ye, Bill Bones. Now that's done. I'll be going. Goodbye, Bill. Goodbye.
Jim?
Yes, Captain.
What time is it, Jim?
10 o'clock?
10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 6 hours. After these messages, we'll be right back. I don't know how else to rope in this after school special.
You're doing great. Finish your line.
Will Deader, pew, 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 and Black Dog and Long John Silver, the whole crew of them will.
Oh, Captain? Captain! Oh, Captain! Captain, my captain!
The captain was dead. The more you know.
Oh.
And there we were, my mother and I, and a boy of 14. At 14, you'll start feeling some new sensations.
There it is.
But don't worry, son. They're completely natural. Alone at night in the house with the dead captain's body on the parlor floor.
Is that natural?
He owes us money. He does. A whole year and never a penny from him. And me, a poor widow.
Yes, but, you know, we must do kind things for one another. And if the black dog comes back, or the blind man...
Oh, black dog fiddlesticks. There's something in that old chest of his upstairs that's rightfully mine, and we'll have that chest open if we die for it.
Mother, even if he's dead, we can't steal from them. That's wrong.
Close the blinds, Jim. We don't want anybody watching us from the outside.
What are you guys gonna do?
We have to get the key off him.
Oh.
Oh, look, Mother, look.
On the floor, close to the dead man's hand, there was a little round of paper, blackened on one side.
Look, children. It's a white piece of paper with a black spot in the middle.
I took it up and I found that.
You have till 10 tonight. Huh, that's 4 hours.
You got 4?
4
2,
hours.
4.
4 hours. Now, Jim, find that key.
Is it behind you?
No.
I felt in his pockets, one after another.
Perhaps it's around his neck. Tear open his shirt.
Do it slowly. There, sure enough, hanging on a bit of terry string, we found the key. And then my mother got a candle in the bar. And holding each other's hands, we went upstairs to his room.
Give me the key, Jim. Now then. Nothing in here. Whatever shall we do? Not a thing of value, not a penny.
Perhaps it was worth the adventure. But, Mother, look!
There before us lie the last things in the chest. Can we all look in the chest together? Count them with me. 1, a bundle. 2, tied up in loincloth. 3, looking like papers. 4, and a canvas bag that gave forth at the touch the jingle of gold.
Do you see him, Jim? I knew we'd find it, but I'll show these rogues that I'm an honest woman. I'll have me do, and not a farthing over. Here, Jim, hold this bag.
We're all set with that, by the way.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just a
thank you.
I think we just kept
Okay.
It got too
going.
fun.
Yeah.
We finally figured it out.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It was a little rough at the beginning, so I was
Yeah.
like, let's keep
Yeah,
going
we
for a little
had
bit.
to make up for it.
Now we got it.
Yep. All right. Cool.
The coins were all of countries and sizes, doubloons and louis d'or and guineas and pieces of 8.
Mother!
Clink, 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 clink.
What is it, Jim?
Mother, listen.
Kane is at the door. There are footsteps. They stop. Knocking at the door. No answer. And again, the latch is tried. Jiggled. Again. Then again. More insistently. Then the shuffling steps. Then the cane again. Slowly going off.
Come, Mother. Mother, take the hole, and let's be gone.
No, I'll have me do, Jim, and no more.
But, Mother, you heard him. That was the blind man.
I know what I'm doing. I know my rights.
But, Mother, you don't know.
Oh dear, I'll take what I have.
And I'll take these papers. Quick, Mother, quick! Take my hand.
Ah.
The next moment, we had opened the door and were in full retreat towards the village.
Look, Jim, over the hill. There they come.
Run, Mother! Mother, run!
Oh, Jim. Oh, Jim, I'm gonna faint. Jim, take the money and go on.
Mother! Oh, Mother!
She had fainted.
Ah.
Drag.
I managed to somehow drag her down to the bank to the shadow of the ditch. A moment later, the house was surrounded.
Bones! Bones! Well, Bones, will ye answer me? Down with the door, then!
The door.
Right in the door!
The door has splintered.
In ye lubbers loot the house and find it.
Ah!
Bill's dead.
Hey, Pew, Bill's dead.
Search 'em. We're shirking lubbers and the rest of ye aloft get the chest.
Smash! Crash! Smash! Smash! Crash!
It was a good thing my mother had fainted, or else she would have had to watch with me while our poor house was pulled apart and smashed. Whatever it was that they were after, they did not find it.
Well, where is it?
Our money's there.
Jim? What is it, Jim? What are they after?
The map, Mother. Flint's map.
Hey, Pew, that's the signal.
Scatter me, lads.
Hold on, ye sneaks. It's in the house. Ye know it is, shiver me soul if I had me eyes.
That signal, Pew, that signal.
Ye dogs, ye had your hands on hundreds, on thousands. Ye giving up now? Ye be a rich as kings if you could find it. Ye know it's there. Ye stand there sulking. Where wasn't one of ye dare-faced Bill? And I did, a blind man. I'm to lose me chance for you. I'm to be poor crawling beggar sponging for your rum. Well, when I might be rolling in a coach, if ye had a pluck of weevil in a sea biscuit among the lot of ye.
That's the last signal.
Get out, scatter me, lads.
Dark, black dog. Johnny, Dark, you won't leave old Pew, mates, not old Pew. Johnny, black dog, don't leave old Pew, don't.
Oh,
Screams as he's run over by the horses.
damn.
Dun 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 dun.
When they picked him up where he lay on the road on his side, Pew was stone dead. The horsemen, as it turned out, were revenue officers with some news of a strange lugger in Kit's Hole, and they set forth that night in our direction. They took my mother to a neighbor's house.
Well, Hawkins, they've got the money, you say? Well, what in fortune were they after? More money, I suppose?
No, Sergeant, not money. I think, in fact, sir, I believe I have the thing in my breast pocket, and to tell you the truth, I should like to put it in safety.
To be sure, boy, quite right. I'll take it.
I thought perhaps Dr. Livesey?
What? Oh, yes, Dr. Livesey. Perfectly right, perfectly right. A gentleman and a magistrate. Dodger,
Yes, sir.
you have a good horse. Take this lad up behind you.
Yes, sir.
We rode hard all the way till we came to Dr. Livesey's door.
Ding, 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 ding. Dr. Livesey, the doctor's supping tonight at the Squires.
The squire. So there we go, boy.
Ding, 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 ding.
We'd arrived at the Squire's. He rose to meet us, very stately and condescending.
Come in, gentlemen.
Good evening, Squire. Good evening, Dr. Livesey.
Good evening to you, Jim, friend Jim. What good wind brings you here?
Then the officer stood up straight and stiff and told his story.
Sergeant, you're a very noble fellow, and this lad Hawkins is a trump, I perceive. Hawkins, ring that bell. The sergeant must have some ale.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Ding, ding.
And so, Jim, you have the thing that they were after, have you?
Yes, here it is, sir.
You've heard of this Captain Flint, I suppose, Squire?
Heard of him, you say? He was the bloodthirstiest buccaneer that sailed. Blackbeard was a child to Flint. The Spaniards were so predaciously afraid of him that I tell you, sir, I was sometimes proud that he was an Englishman.
What interests me is, had he money?
Money? What are those villains after but money?
That we shall know soon. What I want to know is this. Suppose I have here in my pocket some clue to where to find Flint buried his treasure. Will that treasure amount to much?
Amount, sir? It will amount to this. If we have the clue you talk about, I'll fit out a ship in Bristol Dock and take you and Hawkins here along, and I'll have that treasure if I search a year, sir.
Very well. Now, if Jim is agreeable, we'll open the packet. A map of an island with latitude and longitude writing. Tall tree, spyglass shoulder, bearing a point to the north of northeast, Skeleton Island, southeast by east, 10 feet. The bar silver is in the north cache.
We got a donation.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Ryan, do your cucumber accent.
Thank you. What? Okay.
Ivesy, you'll give up this wretched practice
wait.
at once.
That's what you used to get into it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Look funny.
I'm cucumber. Yeah, you're right. It works.
Nailed it.
That's my line.
Got it. Lively, you'll give up this wretched practice at once. Tomorrow I'll start for Bristol. In 3 weeks' time, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 10 days, we'll have the best ship, sir, and the choicest crew in England. Hawkins shall come as a cabin boy, you, Lively, as ship's doctor, and I am admiral.
And
Another donation.
For Chunk, to sing to the tune of your favorite Hamilton song.
Oh, man.
That's good. Good luck with that.
I'll go with you, Squire. So will Jim, and he'll be a credit to the undertaking. There is only one man I'm afraid of.
Who's that? Name the dog, sir.
You, sir, for you cannot hold your tongue.
In a few moments, we shall be bound for Treasure Island with Dr. Lively, Squire Trelawney, and Jim Hawkins. We pause now for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
WAC New York.
Tonight, the Columbia Network is bringing you Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the Air and Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. As Jim Hawkins was telling us, we are eager to leave the Benbow Inn behind and set out for the docks in Bristol.
It was longer than the squire imagined, and ere we were ready for the sea. Weeks passed on. Then, one fine day, there came a letter from the squire from Bristol.
Dear Livesey, the ship is bought and fitted. She lies at anchor, ready for sea. It was the crew that delayed me till the most remarkable stroke of fortune brought me the very man that I required. I was standing on the dock when by the merest accident I fell in talk with him. He had hobbled down there that morning with a parrot on his shoulder to get the smell of salt, he said. Out of pure pity, I engaged him on the spot to be ship's cook. Long John Silver he is called, and has lost a leg. Well, sir, I thought only I I only found a cook, but it was a crew I discovered. Between Silver and myself, we got together in a few days, a company of the toughest old salts imaginable. I declare we could fight a frigate. Seaward ho, hang the treasure, it's the glory to the sea that has turned my head.
On the 16th of April, the schooner Hispaniola set sail from Bristol Harbor. It was more than 19 years ago, but I can remember it as if it were yesterday.
Me in my new blue cabin boy's clothes.
19 years ago.
Leaning over the rails, waving goodbye to my mother, and doing my best not to cry. And for the last moment, it sort of hurt to leave her. And it was the first time I'd ever been away from home. Then a little before noon, Captain Smollett gave an order. The boatswain sounded his pipe. And the crew began to man the capstan bars.
Holding up the anchor, holding up the anchor.
Soon the anchor was shored up. Soon it was hanging dripping from at the bows. Soon the sails began to draw, and the land and shipping to the ship and the land and shipping to the slip by on either side. The Hispaniola had began her voyage on the Isle of Treasure.
We
got
Another donation.
Miss Piggy for Brian.
Okay. Okay.
On the second day out, I made the acquaintance of our one-legged ship cook, Long John Silver.
Hey there, boy, come in. Come on into Long John's galley.
To tell you the truth, at the very first mention of Long John Silver in the squire's letter, I had taken a fear in my mind that this might be a very one-legged sailor that I had watched for all those months at the Benbow Inn. But one look at him was enough. I had seen Captain Bones and Black Dog and Blind Pew, and I knew that a buccaneer looked like. Very different from the clean and pleasant-looking sea captain. His left leg was cut off close to the hip, and under the left shoulder he carried a crutch, which he managed wonderfully, hopping about like a bird.
Bark! Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight!
Are you Mr. Silver, sir?
Yes, me lad. Such is me name, to be sure. And you're Hawkins, eh? Nobody more welcome than yourself, me lad, in old John's galley. Sit down, hear the news. Your first trip to sea, Hawkins?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's a lot of things you're going to learn before this voyage is over. What do you think, Hawkins? And if there's anything you want to know, Hawkins, just come to old John Silver and ask him. See ya, he'll tell you.
His galley was as clean as a new pin, the dishes hanging up burnished, and his parrot in a cage in one corner.
Hey, it's Captain Flint. I call my parrot Captain Flint. That parrot, after the famous buccaneer. Is Captain Flint predicting success in our voyage, wasn't it, Captain?
Bark! Pieces of eight!
Aye, she's a powerful old bird, is Captain Flint. 200 years old if she's a day. And if anyone's seen more wickedness, it must be the devil himself. She sailed with England, the great Captain England, the pirate, and on the old Walrus, that's Flint's old ship, as I've seen her muck with the red blood and fit to sink with gold. She's been to Madagascar and at the Malabar and Suriname and Providence and Portobello. To look at her, you'd think she was baby Hawkins, but you smelt powder, haven't you, Captain?
Stand by to go out! Bark!
And blood, huh, Captain?
Order them chips! At them, all hands! Ark!
And pieces of eight, huh, Captain?
Ark! Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight! Pieces of eight!
At the end of the third week, we left Madeira behind us. The ship proved to be a good ship. Oh, thank you for the bits.
Thank you.
The
By
crew,
the way, I'm gonna do
seemed,
my lines when I have real lines. My son.
the crew seemed to be capable seamen. Uh,
Stop it. Stop.
And the sea was impregnated by him.
Goodness.
there was only one man aboard who was not satisfied. Oh. And that was the ship's master, Captain Smollett.
I'll speak plain. I don't like it. I don't like this cruise. I don't like the men. I don't like my officers. They're short and sweet.
But nobody paid that much attention to him. Every man on board seemed well content. Double grog was served on the least excuse. There was duff on odd days, and always a barrel of apples standing broached in the waist for anyone to help himself that had fancy.
Never knew good could come of it. Spoil forecastle lands, make devils. That's my belief. We're not home again yet.
But good did come of that apple barrel. It was about the last day of our outward voyage, sometime that night, or at least before noon of the morrow, we should sight the treasure island.
We've got cabin fever, and we're all going
Bing, 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 bing.
Just after sundown, when all my work was over, I thought I should like an apple.
Step.
I ran on deck. The watch was all forward, looking out for the island. I got into the apple barrel. Suddenly I heard a voice on deck.
Pirate stuff. Pooped out.
Look here, barbecue. Oh, long are we going to stand off on all of blessed bumboat? By thunder, I want to go to the cabin. I do. I want the pickles and the wine and that.
How long? By the powers, the last moment I can manage, and that's how long. How many tall ships think you have seen and laid abroad? Aboard.
Which one is it?
Drying in the sun at execution dock. And all for the same hurry and hurry and hurry. He's a first-rate seaman, Captain Smollett. Sails the blessed ship for us.
We're all seamen aboard here, I should think.
All forecastle lands, you mean?
Foxhole.
Oops, sorry. Yep, thank you. All foxhole lands, you mean? I know the sort you are. You're never happy till you're drunk.
Easy all, Long John.
I don't know where this treasure is, do I? No more do you, says you, and here's this squire and doctor with a map and such. Well, now I mean this squire and doctor shall find the treasure for us and help us get it aboard. There's a
Abroad. It's
flip
fine.
there. Aboard by the powers after that.
After that, what do we do with them, John Silver, after that?
Well, what would you think we does with them? Put 'em ashore like maroons, or cut 'em down like that much pork. Duty is duty, mates. Wait is what I says. When the time comes, why, let her rip. Land ho!
What's that?
What's that?
Land ho!
Finally, you've drawn me further.
Exciting.
There's the bride!
Away to the southwest of us, we saw it, Treasure Island. 10 minutes later, we were gathered in the cabin, the squire, Dr. Livesey, the captain, and myself.
Now, Hawkins, you have something to say. Speak up.
I did as I was bid. I told them the whole story of Silver's conversation. When that was done, all three, one after another, and each with a bow, drank my good health. Then the squire rose.
Captain Smollett, you were right. I was wrong. I own myself an ass. I await your orders, sir.
This Silver is a remarkable man.
Here's the way I see it. We must go on, because we can't turn back. Now what I propose is that we don't wait for them to surprise us. but that we come to blows at our own time, when they least expect it. There must be some faithful hands left. Well, we must find out who they are.
Jim here can help more than anyone. The men are not shy with him, and Jim is a noticing lad.
Hawkins, I put prestigious faith in you.
Dun, 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 dun.
In the meantime, talk as we pleased, there were only 7 out of 26 on whom we knew we could rely.
Oh.
And of these 7, I was a boy. And that the grown men on our side were 6 to their 19. Next morning, there was not a breath of air moving, nor a sound, but that of the surf booming half a mile away along the beaches. A peculiar stagnant smell hung over the anchorage. The heat was sweltering, and the men grumbled fiercely over their work. Mutiny, it was plain, hung over us like a thundercloud. Around noon, Captain Smollett came up on deck.
No, this is so stupid. I hate everything.
Lads, we've had a hot day, and we're all tired and out of sorts. A quick turn ashore, and it'll hurt nobody.
Yeah, you're right. I like it.
You can take the gigs, and as many as please may go ashore for the afternoon. Hey, wait a bit, man. What's the hurry?
Have an accent?
Oh, that's Silver. Sorry. Hey, wait a bit. Demon and Silver look the same thing. Wait a bit, men. What's the hurry?
John Silver suspected a trick. He hopped around the deck on his leg.
What's the hurry? Wait a bit, will you, men?
Soon the party was organized. 6 fellows were to stay on board, and the 13, including Silver, began to embark. Suddenly, I had a mad notion to go ashore, too. In a jiffy, I had slipped over the side and curled up on the 4 sheets of the nearest boat. No one took notice of me. Crew raced for the beach. No sooner had we reached the shore than I leaped out. And plunged into the nearest thicket. Behind me, I could hear John Silver's voice.
Hey, Jim, me boy. Hi, Jim.
Wayne's World, sorry.
Jim.
John Silver was quick at his work. 2 faithful members of the crew were murdered on the island that afternoon. Only an hour after we had landed. The second killing I saw with my own eyes, from where I lay hidden among the trees.
Well, you tell me you'll let yourself be led away with that kind of mess of swabs.
Oh, hey, thanks for the raid, Zoltaris.
Thanks for the raid, everybody.
Yay!
Welcome, everybody. We're reading to the radio play of Treasure Island and then screwing it all up.
Yeah.
This is
Making it sound better.
Welcome to Trashterpiece Theater.
I just dropped the link for the scripts if you'd like to follow along.
We're on page 28.
And thanks for the follow, everybody. Thanks for the follows.
Hang out. Join our Discord. Enjoy the fun.
Thank you for all the follows. All right.
There we go.
Wee.
As God sees me, I'd sooner lose my hand than turn again me duty. Ah, mate, it's because I think gold dust for you. Gold dust. John Silver, why'd I pick this voice? You're a man of mine. No, fuck that.
I'm good at other stuff. I hit it with a rock.
If I die like a dog, I'm dying my duty. You've killed Alan, have you? Kill me too if you can, but I defies you.
He started to walk away.
Try this then.
Long John whipped the crutch out of his armpit and sent it hurtling through the air.
Ah! You hit me with a crutch!
It struck
Who
the man.
does that?
Just that.
Does that? It struck the man in his back and killed him. Then Silver brought out a whistle. I didn't wait. I ran. I ran as I never before.
And I run.
So far away.
Just knows that the chat paid for me to sing to my favorite Hamilton song.
Yeah, go.
You got this.
Shit. There be my girl. It'll get better.
I looked up the side of the hill.
Woo!
Far above me, I saw something leap behind the trunk of a tree. It seemed dark and shaggy. I turned and began to run. Suddenly, the thing appeared in front of me, and running forward, threw itself on its knees before me, and held out its clasped hands in supplication.
What? Oh, in supplication.
That's
Oh!
Who are you?
Fuck.
I'm
I'm gonna sing song. I'm
one.
poor Bengon and haven't spoke with a Christian eyes this years.
3 years? Were you shipwrecked?
No, mate. Maroon. 3 years I lived on a goat since then, and berries and oysters.
Go on.
Mate, my heart is sore for a Christian dinner diet. You might happen to have a piece of cheese about you now. Well, many of a night I've dreamed of cheese toasted mostly and woken up, and there I was. What do you call yourself, mate?
Jim.
Jim. Well, now, Jim, why would you think? You wouldn't think I was rich. Look at me. Would you know now?
Why, no, not in particular.
Don't think I'm singing the song anymore. Oh, well, but I am Jim. I'm Jim, rich, powerful gyps. Oh, Jim, bless your stars. Oh, Jim, you was the first to found me. Woo.
Suddenly his eyes fell on the Hispaniola lane far below us. Between it and the land was the jolly boat, with 5 men moving towards the shore, but I could not tell if they were our men or the mutineers.
Jim, tell me true. That ain't a Flint ship.
It's not Flint ships. Flint is dead.
Oh.
There are some of Flint's hands aboard. Worse luck for the rest of us.
Not a man with one leg.
Silver?
I hate this. Ooh, if you were sent by Long John, ooh, I'm as good as pork and I know it. I was in Flint ship with Long John Silver when the Flint buried the treasure. He and 6 songs, 6 strong men. There was a shore a night a week, and then one day, Flint all by myself in a little boat, and all 6 all dead and buried along with treasure. How he done? Not a man could of us could make. How he done it? Not a man of us could make it out.
I told him the purpose of our voyage and the predicament in which we found ourselves.
Oh, two more. Oh, that Long John, he's a bad. Then when you're all in a clove hitch, ain't ye? Well, you just put a trust in Ben Gunn. Ben Gunn's the man to help you. You tell you Squire Jim. Ben Gunn's the man. That's all you say. And Ben Gunn says you the ideas of his own. Woo, look at that.
Far below us, we saw the Union Jack fluttering in the air above the woods.
Tell your friends, sure enough.
More likely, it's the mutineers.
I'm done.
What song was that?
Yeah, that was 10. I counted. Trust me, I counted a lot of times.
No,
Oh, mate. No, mate, Silver Fly the Jolly Roger. That's your friend, sure enough. Shore in the old stockade. Made years and years ago by Flint. Woo, what is that?
That's the ship's cannon. They're shooting at the stockade. Come on.
Whoa, wait a minute, Jim. Wait. Ben Gunn is fly. Or I wouldn't bring me down here, but remember, Jim, Ben Gunn's the man to help you. And when Ben Gunn is wanted, you knows where to find him. Just where you found him today.
I started to run towards the flag.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Jim.
Yes, sir.
You won't forget that piece of cheese while you mate.
It was less than a mile than the stockade. It was heavy running through the wood. The shooting was getting louder. Suddenly before me, I saw a clearing, and the smoke of muskets fired nearby.
They're tiny muskets.
Hey
They
there!
got little muskets out there.
Little biscuits.
It'll be fine.
Who goes there?
Hey, don't shoot! It's me!
Who's me?
Me, Jim Hawkins!
Oh, it's Jim. It's Jim. It's Jim.
Moments later, I was over the stockade among my friends, and soon afterwards the firing ceased.
Ceased.
The mutineers were saving the powder.
Bum, bum, bum.
The stockade was a good place, with a paling 6 feet high all around us. We could have held it against the regiment, and here Captain Smollett decided to stay, and await our enemy's next move. I told Dr. Livesey and the squire about Ben Gunn.
Hey, flag of truce! Flag of truce!
Who's that?
It's Silver. Keep indoors, men. 10 to 1. This is a trick. Who goes? Stand or with fire. Flag of truce! Doctors, watch on the lookout. Dr. Lively, take the north side if you please.
Yes, sir.
Jim the east, Gray west. The watch below. All hands to load muskets. Lively men and careful. What do you want with your flag of truce?
Sorry about this casting. By the way, you guys, I casted wrong.
Oh?
Mullet and Silver.
Silver, sir. Come to make terms.
Captain Silver? Why, you black-hearted scoundrel,
Have fun.
All right, here we go.
Oh boy.
Then we'll know.
Oh, man.
Silence, sir, silence. If you wish to talk to me, you can come, and that's all. If there's any treachery, it'll be on your side, and the Lord help you. That's enough, Captain. A word from you's enough. I know a gentleman, and you may lay to that. You better sit down. Eh? You ain't gonna let me inside, Captain? It's a main cold morning to be sure, sir, to sit outside on the sand. Oh, there's Jim. Top of the morning to you, Jim. Why, they're all together. Look at your happy family in a manner of speaking. If you've anything to say, my man, better say it. Well, right you were, Captain Smollett. Duty is duty, to be sure. Well, here it is. We want the treasure, and we'll have it. That's our point. You just as soon save your lives, I reckon, and that's yours. You have a chart, haven't you? That's as may be. Well, as you have, I know that. What I mean is, we want your chart. You give us the chart to get the treasure by, and I'll give you my affidavit upon my word of honor to clap you somewhere safe ashore. Is that all you have to say? Every last word, by thunder. Refuse that, and you've seen the last of me misket bowls. Very good. Now you'll hear me. If you'll come up one by one, unarmed, I'll engage to clap you all in irons and take you home to a fair trial in England. If you won't, as me name's Alexander Smollett, I've flown my sovereign colors, and I'll see you all to Davy Jones.
Yeah.
You can't find the treasure, you can't steal the ship, and you can't fight us. I'll stand here and tell you so. And it's the last good word you'll get from me. Now, tramp, me lad. Thy thunder laugh. Before an hour's out, you'll laugh on the other side. Them that dial will be lucky ones.
Oh!
10 minutes later, nothing remained of the attacking party but the 5 who had fallen, 4 on the inside and 1 on the outside of the palisade. The musketeers did not come back that night.
The Musketeers?
Mutineers!
Were there 3 of them?
It's a whole different play.
Wait, what page are we on?
All for what? One for all?
For all? We all good? Okay.
They had
What
got
page are we on?
What?
What page are we on?
Oh,
31?
Sorry,
What's
I
up?
got
33.
33. Thank you.
yes. Ba-ba-ba-ba. They
Ba-da-da.
had got their rations, as the captain put it. The next day was stifling hot. After dinner, Dr. Livesey sent for me.
Jim, was it cheese you said Ben Gunn had a fancy for?
Yes, sir. Cheese.
Well, Jim, just see the good that comes out of being dainty in your food. You've seen my snuff box, haven't you? And you never saw me take snuff. The reason being that my snuff box I carry a piece of Parmesan cheese, a cheese made in Italy. Very nutritious. Well, that's for Ben Gunn. Well, goodbye, lad.
All right.
Hey,
we've
we have a
got...
donation.
Huh?
We have a donation?
Canadian
Yeah.
Treasure Island. Do your best Canadian
Canadian
accents.
accent.
Canadian, eh?
Oh, boy.
Oh, how you
I
now?
just did my line.
That's all right.
See,
It's
well-
all of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Okay, okay.
Hmm. Then he took up his hat and pistol, girt on his cutlass, put the chart in his pocket, and set off briskly through the trees.
Don't worry, you got another
Yeah.
chance. Keep going.
Indeed.
Afternoon, the blockhouse being stifling hot, and well, the little patch of sand inside the palisades ablaze with a midday sun, and so much blood about me. Oh gosh, and so many poor dead bodies lying around. A new idea came into my head. You know, this was to swim out under cover of night, cut the Hispaniola adrift, and let her go ashore where she fancied. Aye?
Right?
Eh?
sorry,
The mutineers,
sorry.
after the repulse of the morning, but nothing nearer their heart than to up anchor and away to sea, This, I thought, would be a fine thing to prevent.
Eh?
So many things.
Don't look at the chat.
I know.
Look at the chat.
It was
Question
evening
what?
when I reached the east coast in the island, I could see the Hispaniola laying an anchor offshore. And that was the Jolly Roger, the black flag of piracy, Flying from her peak at the last rays of daylight dwindled and disappeared. Absolute darkness settled before on Treasure Island, The next night, I was back on land, I was proud of myself, and with good reason. I grounded the Hispaniola, beached her up tidy in the North Inlet, with no harm done, safe for the mutineers. From the mutineers. Sorry, I'm so sorry. No trouble finding the stockade. Coming from the shore, keeping it close in shadow where the darkness was thickest, I crept into the blockhouse. I could see nothing,
Just stop reading the chat in the middle of your lines.
I'm
read.
taking a breath.
You don't need to breathe.
Oh, fair.
Keep reading.
The doctor and the squire, must have been worried about me.
Eh?
I should lie down in my own place, I thought, and enjoy their faces when they found me in the morning, eh? I felt for a place to lie down, eh?
B.
Pieces of eight, eh? Pieces of eight, eh? Pieces of eight, eh? Caca!
You know, just
Morning wood.
I fancy a puppers.
Sorry.
What'd you think?
Who goes? Who goes? Bring a torch. Dick. Sorry. Well, shiver me timbers. Jim Hawkins. Sorry. Dropped in like, eh?
Oh, it's
What
already
a pleasant surprise for poor old John. John? What the?
John. No, John.
John.
Poor old John.
John. John.
John?
You said Ryan Reynolds is Canadian, right? Ryan Reynolds it is. I've always liked you. I have, Jim, for a lot of spirit. A picture of my own self when I was young and handsome. Always wanted you to join my camp and take your share and die a gentleman. And now, my cock, you got to. And you can't go back to your own lot.
Where are they?
Now, where do you think, my son?
Have you killed them, eh?
What do you think, eh?
Well, sorry, not much such a fool, but I know pretty well that I have to look for, but there's a thing or two I have to tell you, eh? And the first is, here you are in a bad way. Shit lost, treasure lost, men lost, eh? And you want to
And
know
Ryan's
who did
lost.
it? It was I.
Fucking hoser!
Grumble,
Angry
angry.
wood, angry.
I was in the apple barrel the night we sighted land, eh? And I heard you, John. And you, Dick Johnson. And Hans, who's now at the bottom of the sea, eh? And I told every word you said before the hour was out. And as for the schooner, it was I who cut her cable, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
More angry.
Rocky, get out. Fucking embarrassing.
And it was I who brought you. I brought her where you'll never see her more. Not one of you. I no more fear you than I fear a fly.
Oh, I made it angry.
It sounds like it's
let's
no,
stab him in the throat.
Idiot.
Morgan.
Oh shit, that's Nate.
Now you.
I'll put one to that. And here goes your sneaking son of a skunk. I don't know if we're still doing Canadian. It's coming off Irish.
No,
Super
it's-
sorry.
We're out.
All right.
Well,
Oh, we're done?
Yeah, we did.
We're
do
done. We're
it.
done. Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll put one to that. And here goes your sneaking son of a skunk.
Aye, and so will I.
avast there.
Oh,
Who are you, Tom Morgan? Maybe you thought you was captain here, perhaps.
Oh, this
oh, so disgruntled.
I hate
my job.
Tom's right. Kill the boy.
Ah, kill him.
Ah,
Poor
Then
thing.
wants to have it out with me.
What?
Did you hear me?
No, can you just repeat that,
Shut
please?
up and listen. I said, did any of you gentlemen want to have it out with me? That's what I thought. Him that wants it shall get it. You won't fight? Ah, then by thunder you'll obey. You may lay to it. I like that boy now. Never seen a better boy than that. He's more of a man than any pair of you rats in this here house. What I say is this. Let me see him, that'll lay a hand on him. That's what I say, and you may lay to it. Huh. Seems you have a lot to say. Pipe up and let me hear it, or lay to.
John?
What?
We got something for you, John.
Well, step up. I won't bite you. Hand it over, lubber. The black spot. I thought so. What's on it? Deposed. Deposed? That's it, is it?
Yeah. That's a pretty good one. Yeah.
Very pretty route, to be sure. Like print, I swear. But it ain't one bit prettier than wrote this.
What's that?
And what does it look like, lads? A chart. That's what it is. A chart. A chart is this island. Old Flint's chart. Now, what do you say to that?
Yes, that's Flint sure enough. Lost my accent. That's it.
JF. And a clove hitch to it. So he's done ever.
Silver's the man.
That was the end of night's business. Only much later, I woke up suddenly and felt someone beside me.
Oh, beside.
Jim. Jimmy boy.
You.
Yes, Long John?
Yep.
Is that you, Canteen Boy?
You ever seen a grown man naked? You like gladiator games.
Canteen Boy?
Oh.
This is why I'm here. Sorry.
Wow.
Killed him.
Wow.
Have you tried turning him off and on again?
Oh, she doesn't turn me on. No. Okay.
Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete.
Yeah. Oh, that was wonderful.
Sorry.
Goodness, that was great. Oh, before I get to what I'm saying, I want to wish one of our crewmen a happy birthday to Haley. I think we all should sing a happy birthday song to her all at once. Shall we, lads?
Let's do it.
Aye.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
dear
Haley.
Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
Good bunch. Clink.
Clank!
Clank. Clank.
Yay! Huzzah!
Now, Jim, I saved your life for you tonight, Jim. Now you and me stick close, Jim, back to back, like in case of trouble. And talking of trouble, Jim, why did those friends of yours leave that chart behind and they cleared out, eh? They did, though. I came in here this morning and found the place empty and the chart lying there on the table where I couldn't miss it. And there's something under that, good or bad.
Next morning, we set out after the treasure.
Tall tree, spyglass shoulder, bearing a point to the northeast.
Northeast.
Skeleton Island, east southeast, and by east 10 east.
Hey, over there. Come quick.
At the foot of a pine, half covered with green creeper, a human skeleton lay on the ground.
A skeleton! Begod!
It lay perfectly straight, the feet pointing in one direction and the hand raised above its head like a diver's, pointing directly in the opposite.
It ain't natural. But you know, lads, I've a notion in my old numbskull. Now, here's the compass. There's the top point of Skeleton Island, sticking out like an old tooth. Just like a baron, will ya, along the line of them bones.
East, southeast, by east!
I thought so. It's a pointer. Right up there's our line for the pole star and the jolly dollars. This is one of Flint's jokes, and no mistake. Him and these six were alone here. Alone he killed 'em, every man. And this one he hauled up there and lied down by the compass. Yes, 6 they were and 6 we are. And bones is what they are now.
I saw him dead, old Flint. There he laid with a penny pieces on his eyes.
Dead? Aye, sure enough, he's dead. But if I ever spirit walked, it'd be Flint's. Dearest, but he died bad, dear Flint.
Aye, that he did.
Aye, main hot it were, and the windy was open, and I hear that old song is coming out clear as hell. And death hole on the man already.
Listen!
Listen.
15 men on a dead man's chest.
Do you hear what I hear?
You ho ho.
That's Flint, McGar, old Flint!
There be McGraw.
Oh, Lord!
There be McGraw. Fetch shaft and rum.
They was his last words!
Derby McGraw.
Old Flint's last words aboard! oh, Lord!
Shipmates, there's 750,000 pounds, not a quarter of a mile from here. Since when did a gentleman of fortune show his stern to that much dollars for a boozy old seaman with a blue mug? And him dead, too.
Well, belay there, John. Don't you cross a spirit?
Spirit? Well, maybe. you know whose voice that was. It was like somebody else's. It was by the powers, Ben Gunn.
Aye?
Aye, so it were. Ben Gunn it were.
Why, nobody minds Ben Gunn, dead or alive. Nobody minds him.
Spyglass shoulder, bearing a point to the northeast, Skeleton Island. Southeast and by east, 10 feet.
Aye, mates, here's the tall tree.
The first of the tall trees we reached, and by bearing proved the wrong one. So did the second. So the
Here
third.
it is. I, Long John, Mary, here it is.
Before us was a great excavation. In this was the shaft of a pit, broken in two, and the boards of several packing cases strewn around, all branded with the name Walrus, the name of Flint's ship. The treasure had been found and rifled. The 700,000 pounds were gone. We turned and saw above us on the edge of the pit Ben Gunn, Dr. Livesey, Gray, and the squire, all with muskets. The doctor's plan had worked. The pirates had fallen into the trap.
Choo-pa-choo-pa-choo.
John Silver, you're a prodigious villain and an impostor, sir. But you saved this boy's life, and I'll not prosecute you. But the dead men, sir, hang about your neck like millstones.
Thank you kindly, sir.
I dare you to thank me. It's a gross dereliction of my duty. Stand back.
Dun, 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 dun.
It took us 3 days to move the treasure from Ben Gunn's cave on board ship. On the 8th day of December, the Hispaniola reached Bristol. 5 men only of those who had sailed returned with her.
It was 19 years ago. All of us had an ample share of the treasure and used it wisely or foolishly, according to our natures. Captain Smollett is now retired from the sea. As for Ben Gunn, he got 1,000 pounds, which he spent, lost during 19 days, for he was back banking on the 20th. Silver vanished on the voyage one night off the coast of Mexico, and we heard no more of him. The bar, silver, and the arms still lie, for all I know, where Flint buried them, and certainly they shall lie there for all of me. Oxen and wain ropes could not bring me back again to that cursed island. And the worst dreams that ever I have are when I hear the surf booming about its coast, start upright in bed with the sharp voice of Captain Flint still ringing in my ears.
Oh, blue parrot.
Piece of meat.
Piece of meat, piece of meat, piece of meat, piece of meat, piece of meat.
You have been listening to Treasure Island, starring Orson Welles as Long John Silver, in his own radio version of Stevenson's great adventure story. This is the second in a series of 9 special broadcasts presented by the Mercury Theater. And here is Orson Welles himself, writer, director, and star of these programs. To tell you about next week's production, Orson Welles.
Oh, thank you, announcer. First of all, I'd like you to meet Jim Hopkins Jr. Our leading man is 14 years old. Last session, he made a really startling contribution to the stage history of Shakespeare's plays. It was during this course of some experiments with the Mercury Theater sprinkler system. As a consequence of what might certainly been an extensive research in that field, he caused it to rain. Actually to rain, and copious to rain. Where in more than 300 years it has never rained at Julius Caesar before. It rained it on Brutus. It rained all over Brutus in the forum. I was Brutus! I ought to know. Now, as dramatic criticism, I found this telling and even final. And as a surprise item in the funeral scene, I can assure you that its unexpected appearance in the stage of so many gallons of real water created in us all an impression that was almost overwhelming. Our popular leading man says he did it all with a match. I don't dare think what he'll do when he's old enough to run for president. But meanwhile, no matter what happens to the plumbing, he can always work for the Mercury. As you probably discovered, he's something more than a very gifted performer, and, as I told you, he's something less than 15. His name shall not be withheld. I refer to that fine old actor, Arthur Anderson.
There's so much more left.
It's so long.
Oh my god.
It's so much.
Oh, God.
Go water everywhere. Kick
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's gonna take forever. But here we are.
Mr. Anderson is not new to the microphone, nor the Mercury. He was prominent in Shoemaker's Holiday and in Julius Caesar as Brutus, the Boy Jeeves, the Sleepy-Eyed Silverthrow, Lucius's Brad Buttons. He was at least unforgettable. As to our celebrated Mark Antony, George Colurius, who has always somehow cleverly escaped Rainmaker Anderson, he played Captain Smollett tonight. Eustace Wyatt, the late housebreaker at a heartbreak house, was the squire. Ray Collins is responsible for Bad Gun, among other things, and that was Alfred Shirley as Blind Pew. And then you heard Stephen Fox and Agnes. Guess what she played? Moorhead and Mercury, Roundup, William Allen, Richard Walson, inclusive. Jim Hawkins Sr. will bear no comment. Next week, we offer you the ominous authentic click of the world's most famous knitting needles, Madame Lafarge's needles, and Madame herself, Dr. Manette, Sidney Carton, the entire French Revolution, at the same time, same station. It's a far, far better thing that I do than I have to ever done. Charles Dickens! That is correct. That's absolutely correct. Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. There is at the last moment a disturbance in the sub-control room. And if it ever isn't temporal, it's Arthur Anderson. It's a good thing the program's over. Good night, everybody. Thanks. And please write me the stories you'd like me to hear. And goodbye till next week.
Remember, 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Saving Time next Monday night for the Mercury Theater on the air with A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. On tonight's production, Bernard Herrmann composed the original music and conducted, and David Taylor supervised for the Columbia Network. Dan Seymour speaking. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Whoa.
Do a finish end out.
Yeah, I went for
And
ow.
yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. No, originally we were going to do 2 plays, but apparently it takes us almost 2 hours to read a 1-hour play.
Yup.
That's called acting.
Wow.
Because this is Trashterpiece Theater, and it takes us twice as long to get through what normally takes once as long.
Yeah.
Once as long.
That's why. That's exactly
Once as long.
Chuck.
It's been a long day.
Thank you, Glamorous
you know what I- you know
Violet,
what I
for the
realized?
follow.
What?
Normally, so I did the casting for this. So normally, when the casting gets clumped and listed, it lists everybody in order of they appear. But for some reason, this play listed everybody in
Like little
lumped all the
chunks.
pirates together,
Yeah.
and then lumped all the other people together. So when I cast down the line like I normally do. That's why there was weird clumps because it was not in the proper order. Whoever wrote this thing out, transcripted.
Well, I had fun.
Yeah, it was good.
That's good.
It's Treasure Island. It's super fun.
That was
Yeah.
I
great.
like being
Yeah,
a pirate.
Yeah, let's do
fun.
a pirate one.
More pirate
More
stuff.
pirate.
Pirates.
You don't get enough.
Yarr. Fred's doing the pirate stuff.
I think when we go back to the studio, we'll do this one again.
Huh?
I think when we go back to the studio, we'll do this one again, properly casted with more people.
And more pirates.
More pirates.
Yeah, more seamen.
Yeah,
Hey,
thank you,
Miss
Miss
Violet, you did miss the show, but guess what? We'll be back next week.
And check
Again.
the VOD. You can watch the
Check
entire
VOD,
thing
yeah.
over. Right
Yeah,
now.
you can rewatch it
As many
great.
times as you want.
Yeah.
over and over and
Mailman
over.
Matt says, when are we going back to the studio? We don't know yet.
That's a great question.
A good question. We were like starting to talk back about it, and then boop, California went stupid.
Yeah.
So California not doing so good right now.
Wait, you mean I'm not in the studio? What?
Oh,
California not doing so good right now? So we're gonna go ahead and wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
we're in timeout right now.
One timer right now, yeah.
Aw,
Yeah,
I
California
love
and the
Violet.
rest of us. Yeah, the rest of the U.S.
Oh,
Yeah,
pretty good over here.
we work really close together, so it's more awkward than normal workplaces. We're like directly in each other's spit.
Especially
Perimeter.
arts.
Oh God.
Georgia.
So yeah,
Hey, you should install a temperature screener at the entrance to the studio.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, we do that, and
Little-
then
little screener.
if everybody's not sick, then we can play.
And then we can do like one of those hazmat like little things. We go. Shh, shh, shh.
Yep.
That sprays you
need
down.
like
Yeah.
a sanitizing man trap. As you walk in, it just kind of.
Yeah, like a decompressing room or something like that, where you just get
UV light
hosed
thing.
down.
Yeah, or sanitizing
The
room.
budget? That's impressive.
No, we're gonna have to do like a bunch of shows and I'm gonna do like a month fundraiser.
No, the inside of the studio is just gonna look like the end of ET,
Right.
with all the plastic walls up everywhere.
All the
Let
plastic.
astronauts come in, and go. Oh.
Yeah.
Cucumber's gonna look like ET when he's all.
He's wrapped up in the plastic.
Oh no.
Castor Stirfry says, I haven't seen my co-workers in person since February. It's been great.
If you don't like them, it's pretty.
Same.
I feel that. That's a mood.
Jeez.
All right, well, we're going to say hello. No, we're not going to say hello. We're going to say goodbye.
We're gonna
We're gonna say goodbye. We sending it to somebody?
Are we
Yes,
rating?
we are. Let me
You can say
check
hello
who
to
it be. Ooh,
It's Catherine Lynn.
she. Yep.
Cool.
I'm gonna send it.
We're
Catherine.
gonna raid because we're
I
pirates.
chose it for you.
Arr.
Awesome. Well, go tell our friends Catherine Lynn and
We just did pirate radio.
Ah,
your.
Oh,
Is that your new favorite thing?
What?
Chunk?
what? This? There's a reason. I'll tell you later.
Okay. Can't wait.
Cool.
Let's send it off.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Avasti.
Avast.
Don't give away my secrets.
Good night.